Right, I found Laurie Cohen-Peters, who is an absolute genius on GMO. GMO is just one of the things she's a genius of, and she's Director of Communications at
IRT, the Institute for Responsible Technology.
Right, so we've got a few minutes, and what we want to know is, give us like a little basics on GMO. What's a GMO? What's happening?
GMOs are when you take the genes of one species or substance and you put it into the DNA of another with a desire to get a certain trait.
Okay, cool. And is it dangerous? Is it like all people keep saying it's all scary, we're getting deformed and sick?
Every GMO is different, but yes, there's many peer-reviewed scientific studies. There's studies coming out every day. There are scientists that have had gag orders or have been bullied or threatened not to come forward when GMOs were initially introduced into the food supply that testify to the fact that they're linked to many health issues and environmental issues.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It's kind of a nightmare.
How can we avoid them? Like, we're in the States now, so in America, how do we avoid them?
The primary crops that have GMOs are corn, soy, canola, sugar beets, alfalfa, crookneck squash, papaya, and there's more that are sort of coming down the pike that we're waiting to see infiltrate the food supply, like salmon, and you can find GMOs in wild-caught fishes that have been released from the hatcheries that have been fed on GMOs, but we'll get to that in a second.
Wow.
So the primary ones, that sugar beets it gets turned into sugar, so conventional sugar is about 80% of the food supply now. Corn oil, high fructose corn syrup, corns in your processed foods, anything that you see as a corn derivative that's in a processed food that's a conventionally produced product, that's going to be genetically modified most likely because it's 80 to 90% of our food, of our corn in America is grown GMO. Cottonseed, same like with cottonseed oil. Soy, you've got soy lecithin, you've got some of the micro or minor.
Soy lecithin is in everything, isn't it?
It is in everything. I'm going to put these on if you don't mind.
It's bright, isn't it?
It's very bright. You've got micro minor ingredients, but you've also just got soy in general, soy milk, and the soy protein itself if it's grown conventionally.
So soy is pretty much a nightmare, right?
Soy is pretty much a nightmare on a lot of levels, but let's just say you want to have your soy milk. I'll tell you how you can best try to avoid ingesting GMOs. And then also some varieties of crookneck squash, as I said, and you've got to look for the meat and the dairy because they're going to be fed off of the soy or the corn.
Of course, so they get fed the food that goes into them, then that goes into us.
That's exactly right.
That's a nightmare.
And also alfalfa now, which is very easy to experience contamination from. All of these can proliferate contamination, but it's sort of very easily wind transported and it grows like a weed. So we're finding a lot of genetically modified alfalfa contamination in smaller farms that originally had committed to sustainability and weren't expecting to have GMOs in their alfalfa.
Wow, it's just blown across the world. So are we just all doomed to be eating GMOs?
No, we're never doomed.
Good, I like it.
We need empowerment and then we need inspired action. So the first step is to get educated. And you also have to realize that at this stage in our food supply, we're not going to commit to purity. We're just going to do the best we can and shop your vote on your plate, which means really look at where you're putting your money. If you're putting your money in the hands of a producer who's using GMOs, he doesn't care about you and your family, or she doesn't care about you and your family or the environment. So it's always best to try to support those that are trying to make a difference, and there's a lot of them out there. So how do you know that you're buying or supporting a non-GMO producer? There's a lot of different standards. I'll start with the gold standard.
This girl can talk, she's an animal. Hang on, whoa, okay. So we're good with that. So when we're buying stuff, we've got to look for the guys that are non-GMO, put the money in the people that are doing the good sustainable farming, right? Key, awesome, love it. I'm gonna cut you there, right? Because I gotta admit this, the battery ran out on my other camera.
God,
I had a nightmare.
crazy.
I'm doing it.
Right.
The battery ran out, so we're going to arrange another full interview real soon with all the details. Thank you, Laurie, you are amazing.
Oh, you're welcome, so are you.